I am actually a sales and marketing person, but training is a passion for me. And I am a qualified life skills coach and positivity trainer. Uh, I've also done NLP, and because I'm qualified psychologist, I also do a little bit of talk on mental health and positivity and all those things. So when Lata Didi said that there's a group of people, experienced people, and you have regular meetings, and she would like me to come and talk on some topic. I had a couple of topics in my mind, but I thought that probably mental health is one topic which is relevant to all of us. So, uh, Madhumita ji, if you can mute everyone for some time, please. A lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
background noise.
yeah. I will do that. I will do that.
Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, see, couple of ground rules. One, as I requested Madhumita ji, that I request you all to keep your mics on mute. Videos being on is absolutely welcome. Uh, During the talk, if you have any questions you would like to ask, you can do it two ways: either unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can type it in the chat box, and I will try to answer them to the best of my knowledge and ability. And I think this session will take about 40-45 minutes. I just try to condense it as much as possible. So we'll kick off. The topic on which I'm going to talk is on mental health, या हिंदी में जैसे हम बोलते हैं मानसिक स्वास्थ्य. uh, both the presence and absence of mental health is something that people have to focus on. You should always try and see that mentally you're healthy, and in case you are having any problem with your mental health, you need to address it. So I will just put on my screen now. Madam, you have disabled my
Yeah,
screen share.
yeah. I will do that. Yeah. Okay.
1 second, please. Okay.
Yes, we can
Can
see your
everybody
screen.
see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Yes.
So today we are going to have a small webinar on mental health. Uh, as Madhumita ji introduced me, I am Ramesh. I am from Hyderabad in India. I keep traveling the world though. I keep coming to Dubai also quite often. So maybe I'll catch up with you, Madhumita ji, next time I come there.
Yeah, sure. Me and Swati, we are both here.
Definitely.
We are both in Dubai. Yeah.
I come at least twice a year on official work. So
Okay.
kicking off today, let us just go through what we'll briefly discuss today. First and I'll try to give a little bit of background about what mental health is about. Uh, Next, we'll try to see and learn about the signs of mental distress and common difficulties. Kyunki na, see, I myself am not an what you call qualified mental health therapist. Okay, but when your loved ones, आपके आसपास के जो आपके दोस्त हैं, रिश्तेदार लोग हैं, अगर किसी को इस तरीके की तकलीफ हो रही है मानसिक स्वास्थ्य को लेके, तो we should be equipped enough to understand if somebody is going through this problem. Okay, so I am trying in this presentation to just try and address in a layman's language, normal भाषा में कि किस तरीके से हम लोग अपने आप में भी और अपने loved ones में भी mental health की problem को identify कर सकते. So we will try to learn about the signs of mental distress and also the common difficulties that people face when they are going through this. We will look at how we can support people who are facing mental health problems. Uh, we will also try to reflect on our own mental health and see what positive action we can take for self-care. हम अपने बारे में भी ट्राई करेंगे देखने की. मैं कुछ साइंस एंड सिम्टम्स बताऊंगा जिसको आप अपने आप पे देख सकते हैं कि आप पे या आपके लाउड वंस किसी को उसके कारण कुछ प्रॉब्लम है क्या. मैडम, somebody is asking for admission. मुझे आया, एडमिट कर दूं? कर दिया. Okay. So I'll also try to share with you some online resources which are available, which you can visit and try and find some beautiful articles, a few videos, etc., with which you can get a little bit more of insight on mental health. I think you have made me the host, so all the admission requests are coming to me. I will. Don't worry, I'll do that. Take care of it. Right. Okay. Now, but first, before we go forward and start talking about all these points that I have mentioned here, I would like to just say a few words about self care and what to expect in this session. Um, okay, let us think about a small baby, okay, a small child, a newborn child. What happens is that when the child is born, it has only basic instincts, or what you call it as, basic emotions or basic feelings. And in a newborn child, the only basic feeling it has of joy, happiness, khushi. It is very happy to have been born in this world, to have a first look of the world, you know, seeing the beautiful colors of the world, looking at its parents and its family, having the first sip of milk. So basically, the feeling is one of happiness and joy. But then, as the child starts slowly growing up, the second emotion makes an entry, and that is of disappointment or sadness. And how this happens is that as the child starts moving around, tries to pick up things and put it in its mouth, etc., the parent will stop them from doing that. It wants to put a marble or a pen or something in its mouth, and the parents don't allow. So it is get disappointed. So that is known as a little bit of a sorrow. So that is the second emotion which enters the system of the child. Now, when the child is about say 2 3 year old, growing up a little bit more, now the when it starts walking around, the parents they start refusing. They say, don't do this, don't do that. ऐसा करोगे तो ऐसा हो जाएगा. बाहर जाओगे तो भूत पकड़ लेगा. These kind of things parents try to do to distract the child from doing something wrong. So what happens is the child discovers the emotion of fear because we try to scare them from doing a few things. कि छत पे जाके अकेले मत खड़े होना, गिर जाओगे, अंधेरे में मत जाना, भूत पकड़ लेगा. So it will get the emotion of fear or scared. Then when the child is around say 8 or 10 year old, all these restrictions that we make on the child and all the limitations, etc., that we impose on them, they get another feeling or emotion which is known as disgust. Disgust is the soft way of hating someone. I mean, the children don't actually hate their parents, but डिस्गस्ट आ जाता है कि अरे यार मेरे को कुछ भी करने से मेरे मम्मी डैडी रोक रहे हैं. मैं कुछ भी नहीं कर सकता हूँ क्या? मैं तो बड़ा हो गया हूँ, मैं 10 साल का हो गया हूँ, बट नहीं करने देते. ओके. Then, so far, so good. The child is still within the confines of the house. Now, what happens is that when the child is about 13, 14, becoming an adolescent, getting into puberty, now what happens is the raging hormones take over. Okay. And then the feeling of what is known as rebellion or anger creeps in. He wants to go out and explore the world. You don't let him. So, the rebellion starts. You want to break the thing, you want to break the rules. So, the emotion of rebellion or anger gets into the system. And then, once a child is a young man or a young girl is 18-year-old plus, they go to the college, they go out in the big bad world. There they frequently come across things which may not be to their liking, and they may be actually against their liking. Okay. And in such a situation, what happens is a lot of new emotions starts entering your system. Emotions like jealousy, because you see somebody is more good looking than you or richer than you or something like that, you get jealousy. Then the emotion of greed comes in, and following this comes in anxiety, comes in stress, comes in depression. Okay. And then following this comes some other diseases like very fancy name like OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, violent tendencies. All these things start come and mess up our heads and slowly start playing tricks with our mental health. Okay. I don't say that everybody goes through this, but this is the way things, slowly start moving. So why do we bother about it? We need to bother about it because of several reasons. One, we ourselves may be suffering by this. या फिर अपने बच्चे या अपने लाउड वंस जो हैं शायद वो सफर कर रहे होंगे. तो बॉर्डर करना बढ़ता है. सेकंड थिंग है कि मोस्ट ऑफ अस हियर आई हैव सीन दैट आर ऑल probably in their 50s and 60s, or at least in the late 40s, if I'm not wrong. So we have all seen a little bit of world, a little bit of experience. So I think we are all well placed, to understand the problems that mental health problems bring in, and we can probably help people. शायद हम उन लोगों को help कर सकते हैं. That is why we need to bother. Now, it's a very known simple fact that mental well-being is always important for a person by himself and by extension to his family, to the society in which they live, or to the company or organization in which they work. Okay. Uh, and after, during COVID and post COVID, the scenario has changed drastically. Earlier, we used to go and meet people over a cup of tea, or just to come and talk in a park or somewhere. But now, last 2.5, 3 years, we are all working and living, working from home, having online chat on telephone, etc. So the way of living and interacting has changed drastically. And this has not only impacted us as individuals, it has also impacted us as families, as societies, as organizations. Because this isolated living has, in some cases, people have actually really blossomed. इस लॉकडाउन में भी कुछ लोगों ने बहुत सक्सेस देखा है. उन्होंने अपना पूरा वर्क स्टाइल चेंज किया इस तरीके से कि वो लोग अपनी जिंदगी बहुत अच्छी तरह से जी रहे हैं, खुश हैं, सब कुछ अच्छा है. लेकिन ज्यादातर लोग इस लॉकडाउन में अपने आप को एडजस्ट नहीं कर पा रहे. अकेले रहना भी मुश्किल होता है, अपनी फैमिली के साथ 24/7 साथ रहना भी मुश्किल होता है. एंड दिस इज रियली इम्पैक्टिंग ऑल ऑफ अस इन डिफरेंट वेज. ओके. नाउ COVID has slowly started receding from the world, but it is not over. We all know that still the future remains very uncertain because if you will see, new diseases are coming in. Okay, swine flu, now something known as H3N2, another kind of flu has come in, and then there are these natural calamities like earthquakes, forest fires, and all these things are there. So things have not changed, and the future still remains uncertain. Now, a lot of people asking to be admitted. I'm sorry. I'm admitting. I think now we have what, 26 people. Okay, dear friends, I would like to ask all of you, what does mental health mean to you? I request you to either type in the chat box or आप माइक अनम्यूट करके बोलो.
Yeah. So chat box is not very useful because we have senior citizens here and most of them will like to speak. Yeah.
हाँ ठीक है मैडम, बोलिए, नो प्रॉब्लम. मेंटल हेल्थ के मायने आपको क्या लगता है? मानसिक स्वास्थ्य जब कोई बोले तो आपको क्या समझ में आता है? मतलब मे बी इन वन वर्ड या वन सेंटेंस अगर कोई बताना चाहे तो दैट इज वेलकम. आई ऑलरेडी हैव माय ओन मीनिंग, but I would like to get some inputs from you all.
Can I, Ramesh?
Yes, sir. Please, welcome.
We here from Navi Mumbai.
Yes, Mr. Ravi.
So for me, I treat the mind as a software and the body as a hardware.
Perfect.
So anything that works in coordination between the mind and the body, that is what my mind wishes. My body should be in a position to do it. And
Very
what
well
is
said.
the capacity of my body, my mind should be in a position to read it. So that is a healthy mental state. That is what I would take.
Very, very well said, sir. I have mentioned this in my points. Thank you so much for that. Anybody else, please? Any other viewpoint? किसी और का अपने नजरिया कुछ हो इस मामले में?
May I speak?
Please,
Yes,
sir.
Mr. Kaur, boliye.
Yeah, in my definition, if you have a very steady, cool mind, that state of equilibrium, balanced form is called good mental health. That's all I understand.
Your good name, sir?
Subhadra Kaur.
Mr. Subhadra. Okay, right. Well said, Subhadra ji. Anybody else?
I also would like to say,
हाँ, चलूंगा का.
I feel that when we are dissatisfied, we are not happy with what we have, some disappointment in us, then we get the mental stress, mental dissatisfaction. Like
Perfect. Yes.
that becomes mental. Then we keep thinking about it, and mental health, like we are stressed out because of that.
Absolutely correct. Thank you so much for the inputs. Let's just try to see, as somebody said, a cool mind. Mental health is the way we think. If we can think coolly and we can maintain the equilibrium, as Subhadra ji said, we are healthy. If you lose our cool and we can't think rationally, अगर हम काम नहीं रहते और जल्दी से अपना आपा खो देते हैं, तो अपना mental health destabilize हो जाता है. Secondly is the way we feel. Okay. Again, as Swarna ji said that if you are unhappy, if you feel disappointment, then your mental health suffers. So mental health could be the way we feel, good or bad. It is also the sense of our well-being. अगर आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि you are healthy and there is no problem, then your health is good. Okay. I'll take you through further symptoms. Our ability to cope and be resilient. All of us, हम सबकी जिंदगियों में ऊपर नीचे होता रहता है. कभी पैसे की प्रॉब्लम, कभी हेल्थ की प्रॉब्लम, कभी अपने दोस्तों से या घर वालों से खिटपिट. दिस थिंग्स कीप हैपनिंग. बट हम लोग उस चीज को किस तरीके से लेते हैं और किस तरीके से जिंदगी में आगे बढ़ते हैं, हाउ वी कोप एंड आर रेजिलिएंट, also reflects a lot on your mental health. Okay. So as Ravi ji hit the nail on the head, mental health is the software and the body is the hardware. It is agreed by all medical professionals worldwide, qualified people worldwide, that there is no overall health without mental health, which means that mental health is not separate from physical health. आपका मानसिक स्वास्थ्य आपके बॉडी के स्वास्थ्य से अलग नहीं है. अगर आप, I mean, to put it very simply, you need a sound mind to have a sound body, and you need to have a sound body to have a sound mind. They are both, working together with each other. Okay.
That is why they call it as a psychosomatic disease.
Yes, yes. Absolutely right. The psychosomatic also is psychological, physical, genetic, all those things are a part of that. Probably I will touch on that in the coming slides, sir. Now, all of us, as I said, depending on our health, physical, mental, office conditions, money, all those things, हम लोग poor mental health से good mental health के बीच में fluctuate करते रहते हैं जिंदगी भर. तो challenge ये है कि हम लोग किस तरीके से अपने आप को और अपने loved ones को, how we ourselves and our loved ones, we can move them from the poor mental health to good mental health and try to keep us there as much as possible and try to avoid going into poor mental health. That is the challenge. Okay. So let us see what are the risk factors. I have used this very fancy word called as biopsychosocial. This is not a word, it's a combination of small words which will try to tell what are the various risk factors which can cause a person to have mental health issues. सबसे first is biological factor. Biological factor में आता है आपका family history, कि जिन फैमिलियों में मेंटल हेल्थ की इश्यूज होती हैं, इट इज रिपीटेड. दीज थिंग्स कैन बी जेनेटिक, ये जीन्स में आ सकती है. सिमिलरली फिजिकल और मेंटल डिसेबिलिटी आल्सो रन्स इन फैमिलीज. ओके. सो देयर कुड बी बायोलॉजिकल रीजंस फॉर पीपल टू हैव mental health risks. The second one is psychological. Psychological is not because of a family. Some of the symptoms are addiction. कुछ लोगों को शराब पीने की या ड्रग्स लेने की एडिक्शन हो जाती है. दिस एडिक्शन इज अ साइकोलॉजिकल फैक्टर. पास्ट ट्रॉमा, पीपल हु हैव सीन वायलेंस इन देयर लाइफ और पीपल हु हैव सीन वॉर, पीपल लाइक फौजी के बच्चे लाइक माई सेल्फ, स्वर्णा का एक्सेट्रा, वी हैव सीन वॉर वेरी वेरी क्लोज क्वार्टर्स. I was a 1-month-old baby in 1965 when there was this Indo-Pak war. I have spent my childhood in a trench in Halwara Air Base in the Pakistan border. So we have seen this thing up close and nearby. Unfortunately, ladies who are victims of rape or of domestic violence or or terrorist attacks, this could be a psychological reason and this could be a risk factor. Lack of support. Several places people don't get support. People who are living in mental asylums or people who are living in jails, sorry to say it, but people who are living in even old age homes, etc., where they don't get the support of their loved ones or their family, this can be a risk factor. This lack of support can cause mental health issues. Isolation. Isolation is basically people who are dumped in mental asylums or in jails or kept away from the society because of caste, creed, or whatever thing. That could be a reason. And the normal stress and pressures of life. जिंदगी के जो normal tension वगैरह होती रहती है हम लोगों को, तनाव, चिंता वगैरह, उसके कारण भी risk factor हो सकता है. And last but not least is these social factors. And what are the social factors? Poverty, गरीबी. गरीबी एक बहुत बड़ा रिस्क फैक्टर है. Unemployment, जिनके पास नौकरियां नहीं होते, people who don't have a job, that is a very big risk factor. Poor housing or environment. I mean, when I talk about poor housing, I'm talking about maybe a slum like Dharavi in Mumbai, or several slums which are there in all the big cities of the country. People live in small 10 by 10 tenements where they don't have any privacy. Everything is in the same place. So this can cause risk factors. Inequality. When I talk about inequality, I mean in terms of caste, creed, sex, color, financial, everything. All sorts of inequalities can cause risk factors. Stigma and discrimination. When I talk about stigma and discrimination, मैं actually जब stigma बोलता हूँ तो I'm actually talking about our society is such कि the victims, the unfortunate victims of rape or of communal violence are the ones who are actually blamed by the society rather than the perpetrators. क्योंकि जो perpetrator है वो powerfully rich है, powerful है, लोग उसको कुछ कर नहीं सकते. लेकिन वो poor lady who is a victim of a rape or people who are victims of communal violence, उन लोगों को लोग blame करते हैं. तुम बाहर क्यों गए, तुमने ये क्यों किया, तुमने वो क्यों किया. So this stigmatization also causes a very strong risk factor. And there is something known as colloquially known as VUCA environment, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, which means again, people who live in volatile environments like slums or in mental asylums or jail, where things are very complex, lot of problems. So all these are the various risk factors which can cause mental health issues in people. Okay. Okay. Now we have spoken a little bit about the risk factors, etc. Now we will try to see each of the key mental health issues that people face one by one, and we'll try to see how closely we can, identify with them. Maybe try and find it in somebody near us. हमारे आसपास किसी को ये प्रॉब्लम है और हम उसको किस तरीके से हेल्प कर सकते हैं, हम वो देखेंगे. सबसे पहले we look at what is known as stress. स्ट्रेस या तनाव, गुड स्ट्रेस भी होता है, बैड स्ट्रेस भी होता है. Good stress is where your senior is putting you under pressure to finish a project. So that's a positive stress. You work harder and try and finish your work. But negative stress are where it doesn't help anybody's cause, but only puts you under pressure and takes you towards mental health issues. The negative stress is known as distress. Now we'll try to look at a few things, a few points, जो आप लोग भी अपने आप में, अपने नेबर्स में, अपने रिलेशन में देख सकते हैं और इससे आप पता कर सकते हैं कि उनको किसी किस तरीके का स्ट्रेस है या नहीं. ओके, सो वील जस्ट गो थ्रू देम नाउ. फर्स्टली, सडनली आदमी हेल्दी है, सो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सडनली ही हैज अनएक्सप्लेन्ड एक्स एंड पेन्स. सडनली बॉडी पेन होने लगता है, सर दर्द होने लगता है, पेट दर्द होने लगता है बगैर किसी रीजन के. आप डॉक्टर के पास ले जाओगे, डॉक्टर बोलेगा तो कुछ भी नहीं है, सब ठीक है. कंपनी में या फैक्ट्री में प्रोडक्टिविटी प्रॉब्लम्स, पूरी कंपनी में ही स्ट्रेस इतना बढ़ जाता है कि प्रोडक्टिविटी ठीक से नहीं होती है. This could probably because of the top boss is percolating all the stress to the people below him and there is no productivity. Extremes of emotions, ये आपने देखा होगा अपने आसपास लोगों में कि कोई आदमी जो नॉर्मली बहुत काम एंड क्वाइट एंड फ्रेंडली रहता है, अचानक से बहुत एग्रेसिव हो जाता है. They start become angry, they shout, they may even become physically violent. ये दिखता है लॉस ऑफ मोरल. ये कंपनियों में होता है जहां पे अगर आपको सपोर्ट ना दिया जाए तो पीपल लूज मोरल and the productivity comes down. There are also, you would have seen some people who are suffering from mental health issues. They are very withdrawn or distracted. People who normally maybe come for a cup of tea with you, have lunch with you, go out for an evening walk, will refuse to come. नहीं आएगा, बोलेगा चलो वॉकिंग चलते हैं, I won't come. बट अगर आ भी गया बाई चांस, तो ये डिस्ट्रैक्टेड हो, अपनी दुनिया में रहेगा, कहीं देखता हो रहेगा आकाश की तरफ. आप उससे बात करोगे तो वो समझ में नहीं आएगी बात. ओके. Erratic timekeeping. Erratic timekeeping means that if the office is starting at 9, the person reaches at 11. If you call a meeting at 5 in the evening, the person comes at 8. Or if the office is opening at 7, at 9, the person comes even early at 7 o'clock. The timing is very erratic. Okay. And then incoherent speech. Because these people are so full of their problems, कि ये क्या बात कर रहे हैं इनको नहीं समझ में आता. आप उनसे कोई चीज क्वेश्चन पूछोगे, वो कोई और जवाब देगा. Okay, this is one of the signs of stress. Safety issues. People who are undergoing mental stress दे हैव लॉट ऑफ सेफ्टी इश्यूज। वो अपनी मतलब अपने टेंशन में इतना मस्त रहता है कि वो बीच ट्रैफिक में चला जाएगा रोड पे से उतर के, या फिर जाके दीवार पे टकरा जाएंगे, या दे विल स्लिप फ्रॉम द स्टेप्स एंड हर्ट देमसेल्व्स। These people face safety issues. Another set of symptoms are memory loss. People who generally supposed to have very good memory suddenly forget everything. Can you please mute everyone, ma'am? I request everybody to
Just
mute. I'm hearing a lot of children shouting in the background. I don't know who it
no,
is.
there is all of them are mute except you and me.
But I'm living. I don't have any kids around.
No,
Anyway, no
I don't
problem.
know.
No problem, ma'am. Okay. I think now it's become quiet. Thank you so much. So these people face memory loss. Okay. And there is a lack of cooperation from these people at office or at home or in a friend circle. वो आपके साथ बिल्कुल भी सहयोग नहीं करेंगे. They will not support you even for things which are on their own interest. वो आपके साथ support नहीं करेंगे. Tearfulness. बैठे बैठे रोना शुरू, कोई रीजन ही नहीं होगा. चलो कोई कोई रोती हुई पिक्चर देख ली, रो रहे हैं, नहीं, ऐसे ही बैठे बैठे रोना शुरू कर देंगे, हंसना शुरू कर देंगे. मतलब अजीब बिहेवियर. Absenteeism or presenteeism means कि without giving any notice, they will be away for one full week. They will not go to the office for one full week or 10 days and come back quietly and not give any explanation. Presenteeism means that Sunday को भी पहुंच जाएगा ऑफिस बंदा. अरे संडे छुट्टी है, but वो पहुंच जाएगा. So this is known as absenteeism. And these are all very extreme behaviors that people under mental stress panic. If suddenly the power goes, they start panicking. If they are left alone in a room, they start panicking. And then being tired all the time. Without any reason. सुबह सुबह फ्रेश नाश्ता करके नहा के बंदा ऑफिस जा रहा है, लेकिन एकदम थका होगा. ऐसा लग रहा होगा जैसे 12-14 घंटे से काम किया, इतना थका हुआ. Okay. And then these people suddenly start consuming alcohol. They start doing drug abuse. These kind of things they start getting into. These kind of people even come to offices drunk. And their body language. Body language एकदम drooping shoulders, आंखें एकदम दुखी, बातें एकदम tired. Body language में ही मालूम पड़ जाता है कि something wrong. Now, these are a few 14-15 points that I have given to recognize stress. But there are a few key points because we are, none of us are certified therapists. So we need to take note of a few points. One is that single factor. अगर किसी में आपको सडनली दिखा कि वो बॉडी पेन्स हो रहे हैं उसको, या एकदम से रोना शुरू कर दिया वगैरह, तो डोंट टेक इट एज सिग्निफिकेंट. वन फैक्टर इज नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट, इवन टू इज नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट. बट इफ यू सी मोर देन 3 ऑफ दीज इंडिकेटर्स इन एनीबॉडी, इन योरसेल्फ और इन योर लव्ड वंस, या आपके नेबर, आपके दोस्त, किसी में अगर आपने 3 या इससे ज्यादा इंडिकेटर देखे, तो आप स्टैंप नहीं लगा देना, लेकिन सकते हो कि इस बंदे को या इस बंदी को मेंटल स्ट्रेस की इश्यू है. ओके. नाउ सिमिलरली ये जो मैंने ऊपर रीजन बोले, उसमें अगर सडनली ड्रामेटिक चेंजेस हो जाए, जैसे बहुत ही इंटेलिजेंट आदमी एकदम से मेमोरी लॉस हो जाए उसका, या जो आदमी एकदम से साधु संत महात्मा टाइप है, वो सडनली दारू शारू पीना शुरू कर दे, नॉनवेज खाना शुरू कर दे. ओके. ऐसा सब चीजें होगा तो दीज आर वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग इंडिकेटर्स की देयर इज स्ट्रेस इन दिस पर्सन. So you will have to try and help those person. Okay. Now, then second very important mental health issue that people face in their life is depression. Depression का हिंदी अनुवाद मैंने पढ़ा, अवसाद बोलते हैं या खिन्नता बोलते हैं. मतलब एकदम से they are very low in everything. They are in a state of suicidal tendency, depressed, etc. ये डिप्रेशन जिसको हम लोग गलत कभी कभी ले लो है और एनर्जी लैकिंग है, तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि शायद आदमी उनकी तबीयत खराब हो या प्रीवियस डे रात को ठीक से सोए नहीं, तो उनकी एनर्जी लो हो सकती है. हम ये नहीं बोल सकते कि उनको डिप्रेशन है. ओके. डिप्रेशन इज अ डायग्नोसेबल डिजीज. इट कैन बी डायग्नोस्ड वेरी इजीली एंड इट कैन बी डायग्नोस्ड बेस्ड ऑन दीज सिम्टम्स. हाउ सिवियर इज द सिम्टम. हम लोग इस सिम्टम्स के बारे में पढ़ेंगे आगे. आई विल शो यू उनकी जो सिम्टम्स वो कितनी सीवियर है और ये कितने दिनों से ये सिम्टम्स दिखा रहा है और इससे किसी बंदे के लाइफ पे क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा है. Is he spoiling his personal relationship? Is he spoiling his official relationships? Is he spoiling his friendship? All these are things which will show whether the person's depression is something worth to be really taken note of and to be treated. Now, what are the characteristics of depression? I'll try to put it in bunches so that we can move faster. The persons who are having depression will show persistent sadness. They are depressed and they are sad. They are always tired. They show a lot of fatigue and there is a loss of appetite. खाना नहीं खा सकेंगे, थका रहेगा, दुखी रहेगा आदमी. There is a lot of loss of interest in everything. They have a loss of interest in everything, and they have a lot of difficulty in concentrating. Uh, they also exhibit a few other signs of mental health like anxiety, tension, irritability. They also show the other signs of mental health, and they also have an undue feeling of guilt. अगर टर्की में अर्थक्वेक हो गया तो बॉम्बे में बैठा बंदा दुखी हो रहा होगा कि अरे यार अर्थक्वेक हो गया वहां पे, मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाया, काश मैं वहां होता, शायद मैं उनको हेल्प कर पाता, या कहीं और कुछ हो जाएगा उसको. ही विल टेक द गिल्ट ऑन हिमसेल्फ बिकॉज ही कांट हेल्प देम. ही फील्स गिल्टी. ओके, ही हैज अ फीलिंग ऑफ होपलेसनेस, हेल्पलेसनेस. ही फील्स इज वर्थलेस because he can't help somebody somewhere very very far away, which anyway he would not have been in a position to help except for maybe financial. Okay, now to understand depression in a little bit more proper way, I would suggest that you see this small video which has been released by World Health Organization, which is known as "I Had a Black Dog." Okay, this is a YouTube video released specially by World Health Organization for depression. At the end of my talk, I will share the link for this. A small 4.5 minute animation video which talks about how a small dog which a person brings, and once it is fed with lot of negativity and all sorts of negative energy, etc., how it becomes a huge black dog which encompasses the person. And this in 4.5 minutes explains what depression is all about and how it can play havoc with your life. So I request you that at the end of this, kindly spend a few minutes to go through this video. You can just go to YouTube and check this out. I had a black dog. Okay. Now we'll come to another very, very important mental health issue, which is known as anxiety. Anxiety is the beginning, and then it spreads out to a lot of very, very dangerous and serious things. Okay. Again, anxious. Anybody can feel anxious. Tomorrow you have an exam, you feel anxious. Your results are going to come out, you feel anxious. Or somebody has to go out and play a cricket match, you feel anxious. Anxious होना कोई बुरी बात नहीं है. चिंता करना कि मेरा रिजल्ट कैसा आएगा, मेरा एग्जाम कैसा जाएगा, एंग्जाइटी को चिंता बोलते हैं हिंदी में. तो चिंता करना कोई बुरी बात नहीं है जब तक चिंता का रीजन साफ साफ मालूम हो. बट भाई जब लोग बगैर रीजन की चिंता करने लगे तब वो मेंटल हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम बन जाती है. ओके, सो व्हेन योर फीलिंग ऑफ एंग्जाइटी बिकम्स सिवियर and it can become long lasting and it starts interfering with your life, that is where it becomes a problem. जब आपकी चिंता नॉन स्टॉप दिन रात चलती रहे बहुत दिनों तक और बहुत ज्यादा हो जाए, सोते जागते आप चिंता ही करते रहो, तो आपकी जिंदगी के साथ खिलवाड़ करने लगता है, आपकी पर्सनल लाइफ के साथ, आपकी हेल्थ के साथ. इट स्टार्ट्स क्रिएटिंग अ प्रॉब्लम. नाउ देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ एंग्जाइटी डिसऑर्डर. एंग्जाइटी बाय इटसेल्फ, जो चिंता है, वो अपने आप में एक डिजीज नहीं है, लेकिन चिंता के कारण अभी आप देखोगे ऐसे कैसे कैसे डिजीज आपको आ सकते हैं जो आपकी जिंदगी को टोटली बर्बाद कर दे. इट विल डिस्ट्रॉय योर लाइफ. These are some of the things you might have heard about it. One is known as GAD or generalized anxiety disorder. In clinical terms, it is also known as chronic anxiety neurosis. This is about general things in life. छोटी छोटी चीजों को लेके लोग मतलब एंशियस हो जाते हैं. एंड देन यू आर हैविंग ऑब्सेसिव कंपल्सिव डिसऑर्डर. ये बहुत ही फैंसी और बहुत अमीर लोगों का लोग बोलते हैं कि ये बीमारी है, ओसीडी. OCD is, start feeling anxious for things which are not in your control. Like, Sachin Tendulkar batting कर रहा है, आप अपने घर में टीवी देख रहे हो, and you start biting your nails. For every shot that he hits or every shot that he misses, you are biting your nails so compulsively that you start bleeding. You know yourself that there is absolutely no use of doing this. Sachin Tendulkar is either going to hit a century or be out for zero. लेकिन आप अपने आप को कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते. और एक another thing is, like, there was a person near my house in the early building who had this OSD or OCD of checking his lock. वो अब बंदा घर का ताला लगाएगा, उसको 20 बार हिलाएगा, फिर घर के गेट तक जाएगा, फिर वापस आएगा, उसको फिर 20 बार हिलाएगा, फिर घर की गली तक जाएगा, फिर वापस आएगा और उसको फिर 20 बार हिलाएगा. Obsessive compulsive disorder. You would have seen a lot of people who are having so obsession of cleanliness कि दिन में 50 बार वो लोग अपना टेबल साफ करते रहेंगे, अपना लैपटॉप साफ करते रहेंगे, 20 बार वो लोग साबुन से हाथ धोते रहेंगे. These are all symptoms of OCD. Okay. And then something, these are all, and OCD are sometimes inexplicable. मतलब बता नहीं सकते कि क्यों आ जाता है कुछ लोगों में. But post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is something which has got its root in the past. As I told you, somebody who has seen war, somebody who has seen terrorist attack, like 26/11 Mumbai attacks, people who have witnessed it, they may still be getting nightmares about it. Or unfortunately, a rape victim or domestic violence victim. These people, whenever they see anything which is going to remind them about their past, will immediately get into stress and anxiety. And then they will go, their entire system will start collapsing and they will start feeling mental stress. And there you are having these panic disorders. As I said, panicking for nothing. थोड़ी सी लाइट चली गई तो पैनिक हो जाना, लिफ्ट रुक गई तो पैनिक हो जाना, अकेले रूम में हो तो पैनिक हो जाना. And then phobias. If you go and Google and see, there are some crazy phobias that people have. People have phobias of putting on nail polish. There are some ladies who have a phobia of putting nail polish, which is a very common thing for ladies. या फिर एक लड़की को लगता है कि अगर मैं रात को सो गई आज और सुबह मैं आदमी बन के उठूंगी, या आदमी को लगता है कि मैं औरत बन के उठूंगा. These are all phobias which have absolutely no basis. अभी phobia against cockroach, against lizard are common. But you also have some very, very weird phobias. Okay. And all of this comes because of chinta, anxiety. That is the root cause of all these problems. Now let us look at a few characteristics of anxiety.
I have one point to speak. Can I ask you one point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I feel that OCD is a very temporary phenomenon, because it is caused by some typical. Suppose I want to appear in an interview, so I get anxious. How do I appear the interview? After the interview over, the OCD is over. So suppose I see a football match. I am sitting in the gallery. My legs are going to the head of the second man who is sitting on the gallery, because I am thinking I should make a goal like that. That is not. I mean, as a bad thing that normally should not. It can happen to a normal human being as well. I don't understand.
You are right, sir. Is it Mr. Subhadra?
Yeah.
Mr. Subhadra, as I told you, anyone can feel anxious. So anxiety, so these minor kinds of OCDs, which you said, no, like you're sitting in a stadium and you suddenly kick the chair in front of you, feeling that you're scoring the goal. These are all anxiety OCDs which are temporary. I agree with you. But as I told you, the person, I don't know, my sister is there. She knows, her neighbor it was. That man, I have seen him every day. He used to bang the lock. I don't know what was his problem. He would lock the door and walk 3-4 times, come and do that. I know people who just keep on cleaning the floor, cleaning the table, and keep washing their hands. These are all things which are what do you call it as regular things.
Mr. Ramesh.
Yes, sir.
Your last slide key point.
Yeah.
That one instance should not lead us to a conclusion. And when it is repeatedly happening 2 or 3 times, and then we need to take cognizance will apply here also.
Yes, absolutely right. Absolutely. And even in this, anyone can feel anxious. One-off thing, you need not be worried. But if it's a repetitive thing, then somebody has to give it a strong look. Okay. Going forward, a few of the characteristics of anxiety. इसका फिजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या होता है? पैल्पिटेशन, दिल की धड़कन तेज हो जाना, शॉर्टनेस ऑफ ब्रेथ, सांस फूलने लगना, डिजीनेस, मतलब यू फील लाइक यू आर गोइंग टू fall down. You get so stressed and so anxious that you feel like you're going to fall down. You start sweating profusely. You have a dry mouth. You start getting unknown aches and pains in your body. These are physical manifestations of anxiety. Psychological manifestation is that You have unrealistic or excessive fear or worry, as I said. Panic disorders या phobia में जैसे होता है. Without reason, you have to start worrying about things. Your mind either starts racing very fast or you go completely blank. Fight or flight जिसको बोलते हैं, उस तरीके से either you start racing and you want to do something or you just don't know what to do. You just become cold. You can't do anything. There is confusion in your mind as to how you should act. These are all psychological characteristics. Behavioral characteristics of people who are suffering from some of these anxiety disorders, they avoid. They just avoid people. They stop meeting people, start going out where their anxiety may come out, or they get stressed when they meet the trigger situation. As I said, if you're the person has to lock, and then they got stressed, they keep repeating the thing. They see a table, they want to clean it, and all those things, and then repetitive behavior. As I gave the example of my neighbor who used to lock his house every day. Okay. Now, as I said, anxiety, though by itself, chinta by itself is not a very big problem. लेकिन चिंता के कारण जो प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं, उसको समझने के लिए मैं आप लोगों को एक रिकमेंड करूंगा कि आराम से, अभी नहीं, बिकॉज ये ऑलमोस्ट 90 to 100 मिनट्स का वीडियो है. इट्स अ एनिमेशन फिल्म बाय पिक्सार, ओके, नोन एज इनसाइड आउट. आई एम सो सॉरी. This movie is about a small, beautiful, chubby girl known as Riley or Riley, जो बहुत क्यूट छोटी सी बच्ची होती है, बहुत फ्रेंडली होती है, हमेशा हंसते रहती है. लेकिन धीरे धीरे बड़े होते, as she keeps collecting all sorts of rubbish in her head, she'll become like a monster. Okay, and this story really explains anxiety or mental health issues beautifully. अगर आपको टाइम मिला, आराम से कभी आप इस पिक्चर को देखना. इसका मैं लिंक भी दूंगा आपको. I'll give you the link at the end of the presentation. It is known as Inside Out. It's about a girl called Riley. Okay. Okay. Now, somebody is talking very loudly. Okay. Now, as I said, that we need to help them. And I think people like us who have seen some life, who have gone through all these situations, are probably well placed to help our friends, neighbors, relatives, or even ourselves to try and come out of this. We are not therapists, as I again and again said, but we can definitely help a loved one who's facing all these problems. And the best and the first thing to do is to have a conversation with a person. And how do you do it? One, the moment you realize that somebody is going through either stress, anxiety, or depression, immediately encourage them to talk with you. And it should be now, the moment you realize. Because if there are any doctors or any therapists here, they would know that mental health problems are a normal health issue. They are curable. The faster you address them, the faster the person can be completely cured. So the moment you realize that somebody is having a problem, please encourage them to talk immediately. Don't delay. Okay. The second thing, rule to follow while having a conversation is that kindly ensure that you can see each other. There has to be eye-to-eye contact, not on a phone. Don't do it on a phone, because when you don't see a person, you really can't understand what a person is going through. You should definitely be able to see each other. Either you sit and talk together or on a video chat or whatever, but you should be able to see each other. Second, thirdly, please allow time, because you can't call somebody to discuss their problems with you and then say, I have only 5 minutes, your time starts now. You can't do that, because people take time to open up. You need to make them feel comfortable. You need to give them time to slowly open and slowly prod them to open and discuss their problems with you. So give it enough time. If you want to help somebody, make sure that you can give enough time to that person. And please ask questions, because the people who are suffering, as I said, वो लोग क्या अपने आप में सिमट जाते हैं. वो किसी से बात करना पसंद नहीं करते, वो बाहर आना पसंद नहीं करते, उनको खाना खाना पसंद नहीं है, उनको कुछ करना पसंद नहीं है. तो आपको उनको बुला के बिठा के धीरे से प्यार से उनसे क्वेश्चंस पूछने पड़ेंगी. व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन, क्या हो रहा है, क्या प्रॉब्लम है. You have to ask very soft leading questions so that they will slowly feel confident enough to open in front of you. Okay. And one of the very, very simple questions to ask is, what can I do to help you? Okay. This is a very simple question that you should ask any of your loved ones or friends who is suffering. And one of the most important skills of conversation is listening. It's a cliche which a lot of people have used. मैं भी फिर आज यूज करता हूँ कि भगवान ने एक जवान और दो कान इसलिए दिए कि हम एक बार बोलें तो दो बार सुने. So please listen, ask questions, and then listen what they want to tell you. Try to understand what is the problem, and then after you have listened to them, offer them hope and support rather than solution or advice. I say this because most of us are not qualified therapists. We are not qualified to treat mental health problems. We are there to offer hope and support as friends and relatives, but not to offer proper solutions or advice. Yes, what we can do is that we can encourage them to go and seek professional help. आज भी हमारे देश में मेंटल हेल्थ को लेके इतना सारा प्रॉब्लम्स है कि लोग किसी साइकेट्रिस्ट या साइकोलॉजिस्ट या साइकोथेरेपिस्ट के पास जाने से डरते हैं. Mental health is also another health issue, and it can be cured if you go to a qualified person. So encourage these kind of people to go to a qualified person and take professional help. And very important thing is that please be sensitive to the person's cultural, age, gender difference. You have to be sensitive to this, because if you are not, instead of helping, you may actually harm them more. And if you are having any doubt about it, please ask the person. Get yourself clarified, and then you start talking to them. And as I said right at the beginning of this slide, make sure that even if it is an online talk, don't have a telephonic chat. It has to be at least a video call where you can see each other. You can see the person's expressions and when they are talking. Okay. Somebody else wants an admission. Once again, please. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, let us come to ourselves. Okay. How can we prevent mental ill health in case we are prone to that? And God willing, if we are enjoying good mental health, how can we continue to maintain it? Now we'll try to look at some of the things which we can do in our day-to-day life, so that we can continue to enjoy good mental health and prevent mental ill health. First and foremost, it's a very simple thing: exercise. हमको at least वीकली 5 दिन कम से कम आधा घंटा कोई ना कोई एक्सरसाइज करना ही चाहिए, चाहे वो वॉकिंग कर रहे हो या कोई गेम खेल रहे हो. मेक श्योर दैट योर लिम्स आर मूविंग. आपकी बॉडी को कंपलसरी हफ्ते में 4-5 दिन एक्सरसाइज मिलना ही चाहिए. एक्सरसाइज इज वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट. काइंडली डू दैट. Secondly, make sure that you get adequate sleep. And about sleep, it says that if a person gets between 6 to 7 hours of sleep, it is okay. Less than 6 hours is not good enough. 6 to 7 is okay. 8 is perfect. 9 also is good, but 10 again is bad. Okay. So you should try to sleep between 7 and 9 hours. Not less than that, not more than that. Both of them, the other limits are not good. Okay. So try to get between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Thirdly, you should have good nutrition. You may be vegetarian, non-vegetarian, doesn't matter, but you should have good home cooked food. And the best, when you talk about nutrition, whatever is cooked in Indian homes is beautiful food, especially depending on the region of the country where you belong. You have good home cooked food, it's very good for you. Next, these are the things which I said will prevent you from getting ill health. Now, how can you maintain your mental well-being? One, connect with people, connect with friends, connect with relatives, connect with your childhood friend. You're all doing that. You people are connected, you people talk, you people discuss things. Beautiful thing to do. Number two, be active. Go for a walk, go for a swim, go on a holiday, be active. Take notice of all the beautiful things around you, the nature, the parks, the green grass, the fields, everything. Take notice. Please keep learning. There is absolutely no age to learn. Man's capacity to learn is infinite. So you can go on learning. And similarly, there is no end to learning. Nobody can ever say that I know everything in the world. There are a lot of things which you can learn. Pick up a new hobby, learn a new art, do something, keep learning and learn to give. And when I say give, I'm not telling about giving money or anything. Give your time, give your goodwill, give your support, do some social surveys or something like that. And these are some things which will really take care of your mental well-being. Do things which you enjoy. As I said, go on a vacation, enjoy yourself. Swarnaka always does it. I know she's always traveling. Once in 2 months, she's out. Do that. That's great. Look for positives in life. There are a lot of negative things, but try to look for positives in that and try to radiate that positivity to the people around you, and you're sorted. Again, this is something which I wanted to tell. Set clear boundaries and expectations. आप दिन में क्या काम कर सकते हो, कितना घंटा काम कर सकते हो, इसका आप क्लियर कट बाउंड्री सेट कर दीजिए. अगर आप ऑफिस में काम कर रहे हैं या किसी दुकान में काम कर रहे हैं या घर पे ही कुछ काम कर रहे हैं, इवन होम मेकर आल्सो, प्लीज सेट क्लियर कट बाउंड्रीज. दिस फार एंड नो फर्दर. मैं इतना ही करूंगा या करूंगी, इसके आगे मैं नहीं करूंगी. बिकॉज डोंट टेक अप मोर देन यू कैन च्यू. आप जितना कर सकते हो उतना ही कीजिए, उससे ज्यादा मत कीजिए. सेट अप बाउंड्रीज. एंड अपनी जिंदगी में आप एक स्ट्रक्चर एंड रूटीन मेंटेन कीजिए. मेडिकल हेल्थ हैज प्रूव्ड एडिक्वेटली कि people who try and sleep at the same time every day, more or less the same time, I mean, and have their food also more or less at the same time every day, enjoy very good physical and mental health. So try to have a fixed sleeping time, plus minus 15-20 minutes. Have a same time for your breakfast, lunch and dinner, or for your walking, or for that. Maintain a routine and structure in your life. You will automatically enjoy good health, both physical and mental. And last but not the least, you have to plan and prepare for your life. If you're working, you have to plan for your retirement. If you're retired, you have to plan for your final years of your life. Just like changing seasons, when you're reaching from summer to winter, what you do is that you remove the winter quilt and blanket, hang it out in the sun, make it fresh, make it dry clean, and keep it ready so that when the winter comes, you are ready to keep yourself protected. And once winter goes, what you do? You once again dry it in the hot sun, put it in a nice suitcase in a plastic cover, and put some mothballs and naphthalene balls so that it is safe for next year. So similarly, you have to plan and prepare for the coming days and months and years of your life, and it will really take care of your mental health problems. And to reduce stress, you have to learn how to get rest. And getting rest is such an important thing that I have actually dedicated one slide only for rest. The importance of rest and recovery can be seen from, can you see this graph please? आपको ये graph दिख रहा है?
Yes.
हाँ सर, ये ग्राफ में अगर आप देखोगे तो जो एक्स एक्सिस है जिसमें ऑर्डिनल पोजीशन लिखा है, these are the hours of your day. और वाई एक्सिस में जहाँ पे ये proportion and favorable decision लिखा है, that is the energy levels of your day. सुबह में 0 आवर मतलब सुबह में 8-9 बजे, when you wake up and you have taken bath, everything, you reach your office, आपकी एनर्जी लेवल फुल हाई होती है. ओके, और आप फटाफट काम करते हो, जितना चाहिए उससे ज्यादा काम कर सकते हैं. लेकिन आधा 1 घंटे के बाद में आपकी एनर्जी लेवल कम होनी शुरू हो जाती है. उसके बाद में और कम होनी शुरू हो जाती है. तब आप क्या करते हो? यू टेक अ टी ब्रेक. आराम से 10 मिनट अपने दोस्तों से बात किया, एक चाय पिया. अगेन योर एनर्जी लेवल शूट्स अप. You are able to work for some time till it comes down during lunch break. Your energy level is near 0. You take a half an hour, 45-minute lunch break, have a decent lunch, and then once again you start almost post lunch at the same level. But here, very quickly, your energy level starts falling down, and it keeps falling, and at the end of the day, you are really finished almost. Then you go home, you freshen up, and then again you have good energy to take care of your evening chores, your evening walk, your talk to your friends, going out on a drive, etc. And then night 9:30, you are completely spent and you are supposed to take rest. So what this tells us that the key message of this graph is that exhaustion is inevitable. थकना हर इंसान के लिए जरूरी है, चाहे वो उसेन बोल्ट हो या कोई फास्ट बॉलर हो या कोई भी हो. कोई भी फास्ट बॉलर 10 ओवर कंटिन्यूस 150 स्पीड पे नहीं डाल सकता. उसका 120 पे जाएगा, 130 पे जाएगा, फिर 150 पे जाएगा, फिर 3 ओवर के बाद उसको थोड़ा सा ब्रेक देंगे, फिर वापस आएगा, फिर वो 150 पे डालेगा. सिमिलरली काम भी ऐसा ही होता है. तो थकना सबकी जिंदगी में इनएविटेबल है, होना ही होना है. तो जब भी आप थकते हो, टेक अ ब्रेक. Breaks are very important. Whether you are a homemaker, whether you are a retired person, whether you are an office goer, whether you are a student, in between every 1.5 2 hours, you must take a 10-15 minute break. Have a decent lunch break. Have a decent coffee tea break, because that will make sure that you are once again recharged to take care of your daily routine. And again, professionals in IT companies, or any one of you who is still a very active professional, assume the rest will just seep into a gap between meetings. I work till 6 o'clock every day. Today I didn't get any time to take a break because your meeting started at 6. But normally I try to keep my meetings at 6:30 or 7 only, so that I get half an hour or 1 hour break from my official duties. And mostly I do it only on weekends. But since you all meet on a Tuesday, I said fine. But the rest will not seep into your working routine. You have to take time. Okay. And resting is a skill. You have to plan properly when you can take a break, so that you can once again recharge your batteries. A lot of people take what is known as power naps. Everyone may not have that privilege, but if you can get a power nap of 15-20 minutes in the day, it will really recharge. Okay, right. So this was the presentation on mental health. I hope आप लोगों को इसमें से कुछ ना कुछ टेक अवे मिला होगा. तो स्लाइड है, मैं मधुमिता मैडम के साथ शेयर कर दूंगा. She can share it with all of you. You can go through it at leisure, mainly because the next couple of slides which are coming up, these are the resources and training which I want you all to take note of. Don't take note of it now. I will share the presentation. You can take note of later on. At organizations, if you're working in an organization, you will see that there is this EAP department, what is known as Employee Assistance Program, which includes helplines and counseling. All offices have HR and occupational health specialists. A lot of offices give you access to private medical health. And also, if it's an IT company or a finance organization where there's a lot of pressure, you also have mental health first aiders. In fact, companies are actually having their own, or sometimes they outsource. This is about companies. You also have primary health care and insurance, which you can avail of. Online, there are a lot of sites and communities. I'll share a few sites and community details in the coming slides, both international as well as Indian. There are a lot of talking therapies which are available offline, and there are also a lot of self-help groups on Facebook, even on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, Twitter. Everywhere you have these self-help groups which you can join to get some help out of them. Now coming to global support that you can get, people who are living abroad. Of course, internet is a global thing. The best resources from WHO, World Health Organizations, which have a beautiful set of articles on mental health and substance abuse. Okay. Then if you go to United for Global Mental Health, in this website, there also you can see some beautiful articles and support on mental health. World Federation for Mental Health is there. Here I'm having a website, the Calm Zone, where you can get the list of global mental health organizations. So you can pick and choose whatever you want depending on what sort of support you want to give to your loved ones. And as I said, this is the link of the WHO video on I Had a Black Dog. I'll share this with you all later on. So you can just go and see. It's just a 4.5 minute video. I strongly suggest that you please have a look at it after this. And then the Inside Out Pixar movie. This is the link to it. I'm not very sure whether this link will show the entire movie, but it is available in YouTube and you can easily get it. Whenever you are free, you can dedicate 1.5 hours to this. Please have a look at it. Coming for closer home in India, these are some of the resources which are available. We are having this mindful.org, which gives you beautiful articles on mind management and mental health. Regarding emotional well-being, you can go to pranfoundation.org, where they are having very beautiful section on emotional well-being. Regarding social stigma, you can go to this government website, which is www.nhp.gov.in, where you can see on social stigma and COVID-19, etc. Regarding mental health, again, nhp.gov.in has got some beautiful on suicide prevention. A lot of people, when they are suffering from anxiety and depression, they are suicidal. So you can go to this NIMH government website where there are some beautiful articles on how to prevent suicide. And then anxiety is, there is one, this website, bereavement advice. This is something which a lot of people don't look at. Bereavement is a very, very, very serious setback in anybody's life. That is the loss or death of a loved one. Okay, a lot of people are not able to take it easily. It is one of the biggest setbacks in a person's life. So this talkitover.in has got very good support, self-help groups, which will help you in coping with the death of a loved one. For depression, you can go to meetup.com, where they have these chat groups. And then eating disorders. This is something very important, which is known as ABC, anorexia and bulimia care. Anorexia is, nowadays the girls have this habit of getting the size 0. They don't eat. And the result is that they have so many deficiencies in their bodies that their mind and brain, body, both of them stop working. They are susceptible to all sorts of mental and physical health problems. And bulimia care is the exact opposite. People who are highly stressed or highly anxiety ridden, they start binge eating. They keep on eating whatever comes in their hand, and they put on a lot of weight and they suffer. This is known as bulimia care. If you go to this sanctumwellness.org, you can find some advice on that. And then Times Now also has got some support on their website called as Act Now. So you can go through all of this whenever you have time, or in case you feel that you need to refer something to support someone.
Are you sharing this links?
Definitely, sir. Yes, sir. I will share the entire.
Thank you. Thank you.
With Madhumita ji, she will circulate it to all of you. Okay, this is the last slide to summarize what we what I just spoke on today. Please believe me that mental health difficulties are real. They are much more common than we understand, and it is very normal to have mental health difficulties. And nobody can say that I will never get mental health issues. Anybody can get it, but just as anybody can get it, it can also be cured. Okay, so it is normal. Don't be worried about it. Handle it. Number 2, recovery from mental illness, as I said, is likely and possible because it's just a health problem. There are specialists out there who can give you therapy and also medicine to clear you out of the mental health issues. So please ask your loved ones or yourself to take professional help if required. Please do not suffer in silence. Whether it is you or your loved ones, please do not suffer in silence. Try and help the people who are suffering, and also try to get professional help to cure themselves. And as I write this, we can offer hope and support to others because, as I said, we are all people in this group. I have people who are all quite experienced, who have seen the life, the good and bad, up and down, joys and sorrows of life. So I think this is a good group of people who can offer hope and support to others who are suffering with mental ill health. Kindly just go through these slides to try and find out the symptoms, and you can help the people. And lastly, as I suggested, there are positive steps that we can take to look after our own mental health. So kindly try and follow good exercise, good diet, socializing, going out, etc. And I think your life will be sorted. So that's all from me. Thank you so much. I'm open for any questions or comments. Thank you.
Let me just say two lines about it. Can I speak just 2 lines about it?
1 minute, Ganguly ji, 1 minute. You can stop sharing, then we can have.
Yes, ma'am, I'll do that. Yes, you're right.
I'll just say 2 lines. To start with, I congratulate Mr. P.S. Ramesh. He has covered everything.
Thank you,
sir. Very, very beautifully. Lot of points he has covered. I must give 3 cheers to him. Now the point which I am going to come in, I'll just put it in 1 line. See, I am beside Vastu, I am a qualified color therapist also. I have cured so far 4 patients of depression. The first one was from Delhi University. He was a very senior professor suffering from acute depression, and through chakra healing, and basically it is a chakra healing through color therapy. He is absolutely all right. I had done the healing for 60 days totally. Then there was another lady, a highly qualified lady, but a homemaker. She also was in the same depression and all that thing. She got totally cured, 100% cured. And there's another lady who are so far the 4 patients who had come to me, I can happily say that I have cured them 100%, and they need not, there was no need for them to go to any doctor or anything like that. So what I say is this chakra healing and color therapy really acts very well because it is my personal experience. Thank you so much, Mr. Ramesh. You did a wonderful job.
Ramesh, hope you are guess who it is. This is Dipu.
Yeah, I know Dipu da, Didi. I know Dipu da.
Okay.
I joined a little late because I had to rush with my mother-in-law to the hospital, came back. And,
okay.
No problem, Dipu. Thanks for coming.
Mr.
Started
Ravi.
on the laptop.
Thank you, Dada.
Yeah. Mr. Ravi.
Yes, thank you so much. And Mr. Ramesh, it was a wonderful session as you took us, your delivery style itself made it look less complicated. इतनी छोटी समय में गागर में सागर भर दिया आपने. I have only 2 main learning points from what I gather. I just want to share it with Ramesh so that in case I'm wrong.
Please, sir.
I feel just as in an aeroplane, you are supposed to put, think first before you help others. So I feel that I should take care of myself, and then I should help others. For example, if I'm not doing an exercise, I should not doing mental health for others, telling you do exercise, you have good nutrition, you sleep for 7 hours. If I'm not doing it, I better keep my mouth shut and focus on myself.
Agreed.
Number 2, help others as you would help yourself. In the same passion, in the same level of this thing. And last but not the least, allow others to take care of themselves. This is how I would try to put your session into practice. Thank you.
Very
Thank you,
well
Ramesh.
said,
God bless. God bless.
Very well.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. Yeah.
Well said, Raviji.
Mr. Ravi Raman is also a very good motivated speaker. He's a very good motivated speaker for almost
Raviji,
for 30 years, 40
said,
years.
Sagar mein Gagar, I had told Madhumita ji, this actually is almost 1.5 to 2 hour session, which I had to really.
I know. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. And you have done it very nice capsule form. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I will ask
We'll be in touch.
Swati.
We'll be in touch, Ramesh. We'll be
Definitely,
in touch.
sir. Definitely.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ramesh ji. Swati is here. I will ask her to vote of thanks. बोल नहीं बोलेंगे, please. आप बहुत अच्छा बोले. आप Swati, over to you.
No. Thanking him will be more by practicing what all he said.
Yeah, actually.
Than just thanking by words. So,
absolutely.
The takeaways which I feel personally is you said 3 things to practice talent, isn't it? And 3 very simple. One was exercise. The second one was sleep or proper.
Yes.
And the third one was nutrition.
Yes.
The one which I have experienced and immediate results is on exercise.
Absolutely.
I have told my close family members, whenever you see me sulking or you see me depressing or even venting my anger, just push me out for some exercise or for a walk or something.
Correct.
It works miraculously.
Absolutely. Agreed.
If we just change our place for a long time and we move out, get into some physical activity, it diverts our mind and it really brings relief to us as well as to the people around.
Absolutely correct.
Thank you.
Yes.
That is why I put exercise as the first point. That's most important.
Because when we are anxious, we are not able to get to sleep immediately, neither are we able to feed ourselves.
True. Lata aunty, Thank you very much for bringing Ramesh ji to us, and it was a great session. I think everybody has some takeaway. सब सोच रहे हैं इसमें से क्या हमको मिला. Please go ahead. सारा share करेंगे आपके साथ वो जो आपने videos बोले हैं. Please देखिए सब लोग. And great session once again, Mr. Ramesh. And I would see that be a part of this, and sometimes maybe you can come back on Tuesday. It is difficult for you, but yes, whenever you have time. For those new members who are here today, I can see Shailesh ji, Ravi Raman ji, I don't know, OnePlus NE 2215, Oppo A53. These names are not written, but Annapurna ji, Simran ji, there are so many new faces.
Madhu, shall I get in? Lata aunty is our new brand ambassador, okay? So
Yeah.
This number of participants should come down now.
Yeah, absolutely. So all these people, Lata aunty, please encourage them to be here with us.
Lata will do the blending. Lata will do the blending now. That's her job.
Sir, Ravi ji, we have been doing this for 2 years every Tuesday.
Awesome, awesome. I would like to be an integral part of it. I love this. I enjoy.
Thank you so much.
I enjoy.
And we have singing, we have tambola, we have people like Ramesh ji coming. Everything is pro bono. People come out of their goodwill.
কথা বলতে পারবেন আমি ভালো মতন বাঙালিতে সেশন নিতে পারি ওয়েবিনার পূর্ণ করতে পারি
আমরা
নমস্কার গাঙ্গুলি দা নমস্কার
Shailesh ji, please join regularly, and everybody please join this very, very happy family we are. Yes, Ramesh ji.
Madhumita ji, I am the world's best tambola announcer.
Oh, please take a tambola session. Our guests love it, and we send them money through GPay.
Announcer को क्या मिलेगा? Announcer को क्या मिलेगा?
Announcer को आप क्या चाहिए? आपको आप दुबई आइए, आपको फिर हम
नहीं I as I told you, I am a positivity coach. I also have a couple of presentations. This was a serious stuff, but I also have some very light-hearted and enjoyable sessions on positivity and optimism.
Yes.
Maybe sometime later, because a couple of months I'll be a little busy and traveling.
Yes, please go. Please keep this in mind. You're always welcome. We have Tara auntie, Meera auntie, Ganguli ji, Dhiru Ben ji. They are like a family. Like we are so close for 2 years. Har roj hum milte, har Tuesday hum milte.
So same time. Is it same time?
Yes, 6 to 7. Please join.
Okay.
हमने तंबोला खिलाया.
अरे गांगुली जी बहुत कुछ करते हैं और सबके बारे में आपको पता चल एक से एक यहाँ पर टैलेंटेड लोग हैं. गाना तो इतना अच्छा सब गाते हैं. तारा आंटीज इनटू योगा, मीरा आंटीज, हमारी लता मंगेशकर, जो बोले कम है. So everybody is very, very, very dear to us. Please join, and this makes this group, I think, mentally very happy. So we are contributing a little way by connecting the dots. यही हमारा main था pandemic के time पे. So Ramesh ji, wonderful session. Really.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you once
So
again.
nice. God bless. God bless.
Bye.
In one line, it is a live wire group.
Live wire group.
Thank you. I'll take
leave. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye Deepuda. Bye Lata Didi. Bye Madhumita ji. I will send you the slides deck. You can share it with people.
Annapurna ji. Yes, Annapurna ji, boliye.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you to Lata aunty. She is my best friend. Through her, I came here.
Lata aunty आप बोल रहे हो और Lata best friend.
चलेगा ना, ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
Lata aunty is universal aunty for everybody. But she's friend to everybody. She can be friend to us at this age. Very, very, very charming lady.
Actually, I came fast. She said 6 o'clock it will start. I had been down, but I came fast. And it was a wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Annapurna ji, regularly join करिए हमको हमारे sessions में. Thank you everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.